Hi, I'm Cheryl Collins. I'm the reference librarian here at the Enfield Public Library. Today's episode of Did You Know is going to feature the Learning Express Library. Okay, so clicking in from the online resources page from the Enfield Public Library's website, clicking into Learning Express Library is going to leave you right here at the Learning Express homepage. And as you can see, it's arranged very simply with all the different categories down the side. In the middle is a basic welcome to the resource itself. And then, as always, over on the right, there's opportunities to keep up with the folks at Learning Express Library and the things that they're up to and all the different things that they feature. To explain a little bit about what Learning Express Library is, it's basically a collection of practice tests and exercises that allow students of all ages to practice their skills and skill building techniques in order to pass standardized tests or licensing tests or any on-the-job training that folks have to do. So this allows folks to get in and take a closer look at the skills necessary to be on the job or in 6th grade or things that they need to know to pass the SATs. So overall, it's a fantastic learning tool for, as I said, students of all ages. Over here on the left are all the different learning centers. But over on the right-hand side on the top, there is a login button. And we're going to go ahead and log in. First-time users are going to need to register. It's very simple to register. They're just going to ask for a username, your email and your password, I believe. So they are going to require you to have some information. But that information is never sold to any third party, or you're not going to get junk mail in your inbox. It's simply to customize your learning to your own needs. And you can see it welcomes me under my login, and then up here, the only thing that's changed up here is My Center. And once you click on My Center, it's basically your own homepage to all the testing that you've done in the past or all the different categories that are available to you. And as you can see, I've started and stopped many tests over the years, and I've gone through some and completed some and gotten some results. So the status of your progress is over here on the right. You can see up on the top all the different categories that are available, starting very early at the 4th grade. That allows students to practice their math skills and their reading skills, very simple skills in the 4th grade. It does go all the way up to high school, and as the grades progress, it provides for a little bit more in-depth skill building. So under math, we have a lot more available to us at the high school level, obviously, than at the 4th grade level. And once we get into geometry and measurement, it allows us to see all the resources that are available to practice. Now, when you click into a specific subject, you're going to see that it's also going to bring up ebooks that may help you in that particular area of study. So it's important to keep these in mind over on the left-hand side, these icons on the left, because it's going to tell you what exactly the resource is. Here's the actual tests, and up top are the books. So just keep that in mind when you're actually practicing. Now, getting into an exam itself, you can either click on the link of the subject, or over here on the right-hand side, there's a link that says Add to My Center. And what that does is it just adds that to our personalized homepage where we have all our lessons started before. Then once you do that, you've got the green light to actually start the test. So if you click on that link, it'll bring you to a very basic instructions page. It tells you there are multiple choice questions. There are 15 of them. Basically go through the instructions there, and once you click on Start, it starts the actual test for you. So here are some good exercises or problems in the area of high school geometry. And you just go through, I think there's 5 to a page, click on Next Page, and it will go to the next 10 or the next 5. And you do so. until it's done. Now, the interesting thing is at the end of your test, it will tell you that you have questions that are unanswered. So if you did forget to answer one, or if you chose not to answer it at that particular time, it will remind you to go back and finish the ones that you didn't finish. And then after you do that, you can always score my test. And the good thing about the scoring is that it gives you an idea of how well you've progressed, and it also gives you an opportunity to see where you might need improvement. So that's always helpful for, especially in grade school and then up into high school, what you can do to improve your strengths and weaknesses as well. So you can always have that. Now within each test there are some links up top as to the instructions. You can always go back to the instruction page if you had a question. The questions themselves, if you click on them, they'll bring them open in a separate window. You can always finish the test later. If something's come up and you can't finish right away, clicking on Finish Later will hold your place, basically, and you can take a look at that at a later time. And then, of course, Score My Test will give you your results. So I'm going to go back a few screens and take a look at the center, my center that we were at again. And again, I've just added that, so I'm going to click right back here and get back to the beginning. Now this will, as I said, keeps track of the progress that you've made in the various lessons. It'll also keep track of the status, so you can see here I need to continue at some point. I need to start on this one. I've just added it to my tests, but I haven't quite started it yet, so there's always that option. If you do complete a course and you get to the end, you can view your results. And the results page gives you your scores, tells you that you've completed the exercise, how many points you've earned out of how many potential points, and it also tells you some resources to use to improve your skills. So where you're lacking, it can kind of customize where your weaknesses are and make suggestions as to how to practice to get better. So those are always helpful for you too. I'm going to go back to my center and just up top, move beyond the high school level, getting into college. The SATs and the PSATs, those practice tests are available on here. So clicking into the SAT prep, there's courses and guides, but then all of the different categories that are available under SAT prep as well. So the critical reading and the math, the essays, all of those are available for practice. Certainly helpful for juniors and seniors preparing to take the SATs. So that's interesting for them to know as well. College students, you can see that there are some skill building things available for them as well. There's also access to graduate school entrance exams. There are the tests for the GREs in here as well. Not only skill building academic wise, but also some life lessons. So getting out on your own for the first time and personal finance skills, public speaking skills, those types of things that you acquire as you get out on your own and get a little older. So those are available for college students as well. GED preparation, exams are available there as well, not just the general practice exam, but for each and every subject within the GED. So all the preparation courses are there for all the subjects. So if you know you need help with math, you can certainly take the math or science, wherever your weaknesses are, wherever you feel like you need practice. So once you've graduated, you move on to the job search and workplace skills. And this is still a relatively small collection within Learning Express Library. There's some lessons to help you with business writing, job search and resume, cover letters, interviewing tips, and those types of things. So this is growing. This is, certainly a resource to tap into if you are building a resume or looking for tips on how to go for a better interview and those types of things. So workplace skills are also there. One of my favorite parts of the database is this jobs and career section. Now this is for folks who are currently employed or interested in being employed in various fields that require a license to practice or a certification to practice. I know firefighters, law enforcement, emergency medical services, those folks all have to be certified to practice their profession. So those tests are available through here. and you can certainly take advantage of those. One thing I also tell students is that they can use this to see if the firefighting field might be something they might be interested in. These are the tests that you're going to have to take in the future, and they might, be able to get a feel for the profession that way, and looking at these practice tests and career guidance ebooks that are within the firefighter mode. So it's not just public safety. You can see there are nursing and allied health resources in here, legal certifications, plumbers, teachers, culinary arts, civil service tests. So there's a lot of different professions that might require some certification, and those practice opportunities are here as well. Basic skill building for adults, again, just brushing up on your skills. Some of us need practice in helping our own kids with their homework. So a refresher in math or a refresher in science, on the various levels. Those, it's a possibility that parents and teachers and students can work together to use something like this. One of the interesting components of the Learning Express library is that it does have the citizenship test, practice test available for folks interested in taking the citizenship test. You can see here that the exam prep is right here. There's also the exam prep in Spanish, and then there's also information about green card, the green card application that you have to fill out. So those resources are available as well for folks to practice their skills for that test. And then lastly, over here on the right is resources for Spanish-speaking individuals. So a lot of the things that we just saw for English are available in Spanish as well, particularly the GED, math skills, reading and writing skills. So those basic. And this section of the database is growing, so there's more to be added for this for Spanish-speaking individuals as well. So just getting back to my center and taking a look at the bottom. Again, some of the courses that I've started and stopped over time, and any of the ebooks that you choose to open as well will be included here. Now, the ebooks I should mention are just straightforward PDF downloads. So if you're equipped on with Adobe Reader, you should be fine opening these books. There's no special platform required, and the downloads are free. So those will just download right to your computer, and you can read them right from there. And then I always recommend folks to when they're done, keeping track of all of their things are here, but it's always a good idea to log out at the end. It's just, it takes your information off the screen. May not be important at home, but certainly here in the library. Encourage folks to log out and just get back to the very basic screen. So that is the basic overview for Learning Express Library. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact the reference desk here at the library. The phone number for the reference desk is 860-763-7511, and my email address is cbcollins@enfield.org. Thank you for watching.